Hello guys, welcome to FlickBits Recaps. Today's movie recap will be a horror and suspense movie from 2023 called Night Shift. Warning! There are spoilers ahead. The movie begins and we see Gwen Taylor, who arrives at a remote motel for a night shift job. She brings a necklace from her car into the motel. Teddy Miles, the owner, hired her because he has a date tonight. The motel's old decor, filled with stuffed animals and a falling bear's head, strikes Gwen as strange. Teddy gives her a tour, showing her the empty pool with a sinkhole that drained it last summer. He tells her the county will shut it down soon. He also shows Gwen the supply room, which has cleaning supplies and other essentials. After showing Gwen around the motel, Teddy explains that the supply room door auto-locks from the outside, so she should prop it open with a brick to avoid being trapped inside. In the office, Gwen notices that room number 13 is half the price of others due to superstitions. Teddy explains it is usually closed and not often used, so there should not be issues. Before leaving, Teddy gives Gwen the number of the only nearby restaurant for food orders. Concerned about her safety, Gwen asks Teddy about security in the isolated area. He advises her to call the police if anyone threatens her and shows her a fire axe near the vending machine for protection. Teddy reassures her that the motel has a safe history in his family for generations and tells her to lock herself in and call him if she needs help. Gwen hears a noise upstairs, joking it might be rats. Teddy confirms there are rats but asks her to stay just for the night, promising to pay for her dinner and return at 7 a.m. After Teddy leaves, Gwen starts cleaning. She notices a car outside that seems to watch her but moves on. While cleaning room number 8, she finds a used condom, which disgusts her. Using scissors, she picks it up and throws it away, leaving the scissors behind. Back in the office, Gwen sees that room number 6 is occupied by Alice Marsh, but Alice does not respond when Gwen checks on her. Gwen notices something red on her fingers, possibly blood, before Alice quickly shuts her door. As Gwen returns to the office, she sees another girl entering, wondering if it is a hallucination. She orders food, and while making coffee, the phone rings. She answers but hears nothing, realizing the call came from room 13, which should be empty as its key is still at the desk. Gwen hears a scary laugh on the phone and grabs a knife to check room 13. The room is empty, and as she inspects the phone, a scary figure appears in the background but vanishes when she turns around. Suddenly, the phone in room 13 rings, showing a call from the office. Confused, Gwen turns and sees the scary figure, who tells her this is for her. Terrified, she screams and runs away. Alice hears Gwen and asks if she is okay, saying her hairdryer is not working. Gwen goes to the supply room for another dryer. Alice asks what Gwen saw in room 13, and Gwen says it was nothing, mentioning she is tired and might be imagining things. Finding a hairdryer, Gwen tries to leave, but the brick holding the door slides, locking both of them inside the room. Gwen tells Alice the door only opens from the outside and asks if she has a phone. Alice says her phone fell in the sink while dyeing her hair, and she needed the dryer to fix it. Meanwhile, the lights go out. Alice gets very nervous because she is claustrophobic, and rats start coming into the room. They feel trapped since Teddy won't be back until 7 o'clock in the morning. Just then, the delivery boy from the restaurant arrives with their food and opens the door, letting them out. They are both relieved and go to the office to eat. Alice thanks Gwen for sharing the food. Gwen realizes that the red on her fingers was hair dye, not blood. She asks Alice why she changed her hair color. Alice explains that her mom is very strict about her hair color, won't let her go to parties, and does not allow her to watch horror movies. After a big argument with her mom, Alice ran away from home and does not plan to go back. Gwen says this might sound wrong, but her mom does this because she worries about Alice. She tells her that her mom was also very strict with her, but family is very important, and the outside world can be dangerous. Think carefully about what she does. Her mom passed away recently, and she still misses her. Then Gwen goes to get a Coke from the vending machine. Meanwhile, Gwen sees the same car driving around the motel in a creepy manner. She goes inside, keeping an eye on it. Alice approaches her from behind, startling Gwen and making her drop the Coke bottles. Alice apologizes and starts helping her clean up, but Gwen stops her. Alice finds Gwen's behavior strange and heads back to her room. Gwen tells her to remember to lock her door. Alice does not understand why Gwen is so upset. Gwen hears the car engine again and picks up a knife for self-defense. Just then, a couple named Warner and Bertie come in. They are excited to be at the motel because it reminds them of the movie Psycho. Warner tells Gwen they have escaped from a boring art gallery and need rooms by the hour. Gwen gets annoyed but calmly tells him the charge is for the whole night and refuses to rent rooms by the hour. Warner starts throwing money around, demanding to know how much she wants, but Gwen only takes the room fee and gives him the key. She asks him to sign the register, but he rudely refuses and goes to the room. Gwen writes a sign saying, "Rats, do not enter," and puts it up outside the supply room. She then hears a noise coming from the pool and thinks it is from the sinkhole. When she goes to check, she falls into the pool and hurts her hand. She sees the same ghost in the sinkhole and starts calling for help. Alice comes and helps her out of the pool. They go to Gwen's room, and Alice helps dress her wound. Alice asks what Gwen saw, but Gwen does not know how to answer. Alice says the whole town knows the motel is haunted. Gwen then hears the sound of a car engine and sees Warner and Bertie leaving in their car. It was not the car she saw earlier. She asks Alice if she has seen any cars around the motel, and Alice says no. Alice asks why Gwen is so nervous. Gwen explains that when she was Alice's age, a man named Walton Gray broke into her house and killed her mother and sisters. He tried to kill Gwen too, but she escaped. The police caught him and put him in a mental institution because he was unstable. 2 days ago, he escaped. Gwen found her mother's necklace in the mailbox, the same one seen in her car at the beginning of the movie. She thinks Walton Gray, who took the necklace the night she escaped, is following her in the car. Alice tells Gwen to call the police. When Gwen leaves to make the call, Alice says she will go back to her mother in the morning. Gwen is relieved. She returns to the office and sees a ghost on the monitor. When she looks through the window, no one is there. Suddenly, she sees the ghost inside the office moving toward her. She locks herself in a room and calls Teddy, angrily asking why he did not tell her the place was haunted. Teddy insists he has never seen any ghosts, but Gwen says she is quitting and tells him to come back immediately. She hangs up. The office bell rings, and Gwen comes out to find a mysterious man needing a room for the night. He says Gwen looks familiar, but she denies it. He pays for the room, and she tries to grab a knife but cannot reach it. She gives him the key to room 12 but shows him room 8 instead because she left scissors there for self-defense. As they walk to the room, Gwen sees the man's car is the same one she saw earlier, confirming her suspicion that he is the killer who murdered her family. At the room, the man asks for her name again. Gwen goes to the bathroom, pretending to get a towel, and sees the scissors. The man takes an injection from his bag and looks out the window as if someone is outside. Gwen attacks him with the scissors. The man then reveals that he is Raymond Bailey, her doctor from Ashford Psychiatric Clinic. He tells her she has been his patient for 12 years and ran away 2 nights ago. He says Gwen was the one who killed her family. Gwen is shocked to hear this. Bailey asks if she remembers telling him how her mother and sisters hated her and treated her badly. We see flashes of Gwen killing her entire family. Gwen starts crying, insisting that Walton Gray killed her family. Bailey explains that Walton Gray is just a figment of her imagination. Gwen then sees the ghosts of her mother and sisters again, the same ghosts she has been seeing throughout the story. A car arrives outside, and Bailey says he called the hospital to come pick her up. Gwen takes out the necklace from her pocket, and Bailey reminds her that she wore it the night she killed her family. It was the only gift her mother ever gave her. Bailey tells her she needs her injection because she is sick. Gwen grabs the scissors and asks Bailey to open his mouth. After that, we see 2 people sitting in a hospital van outside. They see Gwen standing in front of the motel and recognize her. Gwen goes back to room 8, and they follow her. Gwen locks the door from inside. Alice, hearing the commotion, follows them to room 8 and is shocked to see Bailey's dead body with his tongue cut out and a hospital worker injured. Gwen emerges with blood-soaked scissors in her hand. Alice runs away, but Gwen grabs a fire axe from the vending machine and kills Alice, saying she is responsible for what happened to her. After some time, Teddy comes back and sees Gwen standing near the pool. He asks what she is doing there, and she tells him to come closer so she can explain. The scene shifts to a year later. A boy arrives at the motel. The place looks transformed, vibrant, and beautiful, with water in the pool. Gwen greets him, saying she hopes he likes the pool because it is the motel's specialty. The boy agrees, and Gwen mentions that last year there was a big sinkhole at the bottom that could fit 5 people. The boy is surprised, and Gwen starts laughing in a strange way, hinting that she buried the bodies of Teddy, Alice, Bailey, and the 2 hospital workers in the sinkhole. Gwen checks in the boy who is heading to Ashford for college, despite her own past at the Ashford Psychiatric Ward. She gives him room 8, her favorite, and shows him around the office. Gwen sees ghosts of her family and Alice, momentarily unsettling her. The boy notices her pale face and asks if she is okay. Gwen assures him she is fine and leads him to his room. Suddenly, the bear's head on the wall falls, revealing dried blood, and the story ends here. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you like the story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more film recaps.